Good evening and welcome to Coffee Talk. It has been Monday was my last live stream. I hadn't done a live stream since Monday, so I thought I'd force myself to do a live stream this evening, whether I feel like it or not. Been a long week and I am tired. Been one of those weeks. Hello, Bud Files. Hello, Verna. Been a while. Thank you for coming. How are you? Hello, Idaho Garden Girl. Thank you for coming. This is my first live stream since Monday. Went 3 days without one. I'm sort of forcing myself to do one this evening. I really don't feel like it, but I feel like I owe you all. Uncle Al died Bullfrog 79. Buying space. Hello, Myra. Enrique Trevino. Oh, I think we've got a good topic for tonight, Enrique. Everybody saying hello to everybody else. Please leave a like to support the channel. It will be greatly appreciated. 7 in the house, 6 likes. All right, this one is compliments of Uncle Al. Today's topic is 3 Days of Darkness in modern times. The failure of the power grid by AI. Do you have backup power to run key systems? Real bad and hot weather, like summer, heat of the summer, or keeping fresh and frozen your refrigerator, your freezer. No tech support and services, no police, fire, and EMT services, no smartphone or internet. Mom of 4 boys. Hello, Rachel. You basically go back 125 years to the turn of the 20th century in 3 days. Then what is left that is still working? Think about it. No Walmart, no gas stations, takeout food. What you have is what you have. Your technology is what you have. Little Lone Prepper, hello. Part-time planting. Hello, part-time planting. Think about that. That would be a bad situation. Also have about 10 kilowatts of solar panels. So for every 100 amp hour lithium iron battery, you should have 400 watts of solar to charge it. 400 watts of solar to charge one 100 amp hour. That's 1280 watts of stored power. You can do the math. Snow cone. Hello, Snow Cone 3. How are you doing? Thank you for coming in. I went over to Sam's Club today. I bought a box of big box of cups, 12-ounce styrofoam cups. I bought some coffee pods. I looked at the price of Camp Heat. You get a 12-pack of Camp Heat for about $30. And if you were to go and get the 1-pound green propane canisters, you're looking at about $10 for a 2-pack. So it's about $5 per 1-pound can. Walmart had a display. I will post it. And it was the 2 packs of the 1-pound propane bottles. And it was basically $10 for a 2-pack. Melinda Elliott, thank you for coming. Please leave a like to support the channel. And just so that you know, I plan on sleeping in tomorrow. A couple of my friends wanted to go to breakfast. I got a cold. I've been blowing my nose. I am tired. And when I get through with this, I'm going to bed and I'm going to sleep in tomorrow. I've been getting up every morning about 4 o'clock. I've been going to bed about 7:30. These nights that I haven't been doing my live stream, I've been going to bed about 7:30. I've been getting up about 4. Colds are bad. I understand. Yoda, my friend Yoda. How are you doing, my friend? Did you reach 100,000 yet? Yoda's been growing. Getting ready for Helen, Georgia next week, okay? Going to meet up there for some purpose. About to hit 7K. Will you go, old man? I'd like to hit 2K sometimes in the next 6 months. I'm at 1845, last time I checked. It is what it is, my friend. I have people tell me that they get content advisories about me. My content is subversive. I'm one of those horrible Walmart shoppers. What do you call them? The deplorables? I'm one of those deplorable Walmart shoppers. Oh, my wife ordered me, she wanted to get me a Valentine's Day gift. So she ordered me one of these shavers that came in a couple of days ago. I thought I would open up and let y'all see it. Fast, innovative shavers and clippers. Skullshaver.com. They call it a Pit Bull Shaver Silver Pro. Pit Bull. A pit bull. My Smith & Wesson knife, purchased several years ago at Academy, I paid $25 plus tax. What they cost today, I do not know. Thought I'd do an unboxing. Yeah, everybody should get a warning. I'm one of those horrible subversive types. Next thing you know, I'll be voting Republican. Oops, I do that already. Well, that's something other. Well, there went something on the floor. Then I got this thing here. Some sort of lubricant. I guess this is the charger. Plug it in to charge. Don't know what in the world it is. think my wife paid 50 something other for, about $60. You can plug in to charge it back here, I guess. It's where you plug in your charger, right there. Well, I will have to play with it after, when I get a chance. But that's my wife's Valentine's gift to me. Came in a couple of days ago. Where was I? Yes. The Apocalypse. Or Teowaki, the end of the world as you know it. Remington sung, it's the end of the world as we know it. Yep. That's nice. I hope to enjoy. I hope I enjoy it too. I shaved my head with a 3-head Norelco shaver. Been doing that for 20 years. Okay. You guys and gals enjoy the candid talks between Trump, Vance, and Zelensky. I heard it got pretty loud. Did you see they tried to cancel a woman on TikTok for voting for Trump? And she went from under 1 million followers to over 2 million in a few days. Under 1 million followers to over 2 million. Well, as somebody who has under 2,000 followers, I'd like to get to 2,000. You got these people, oh, the poor woman only had 1 million followers and now she's got 2 million because they tried to cancel her. I'll never have 1 million followers, much less 2 million. Being respectful. Don't want to be disrespectful. Looking back to see if anybody snuck in on me. Did anybody sneak in on me? I'm looking back to see if anybody snuck in on me. Apparently not. 9 in the house. And 11 likes. So let me go over this again real fast with you. 12 likes, actually. Today's topic is 3 days of darkness in modern times. The failure of the power grid by AI. Do you have backup power to run key systems? Real bad in hot weather, or keeping fresh and frozen. No tech support and services. No police, fire, and EMT services. No smartphone or internet. You go back 125 years in 3 days to the turn of the 20th century. Then, what is left that is still working? Think about it. No Walmart, no gas stations, no takeout food. What do you think, guys? Joseph Moore, my friend, thank you for coming. What do you think? I am tired. I am tired. Well, what are key things that you need? You need a water supply. You need water. You need food. You need canned food. Ideal to have freeze-dried food, but it's expensive. If you can afford it, you need to be stocking up on some freeze-dried items. Stock up on your cans. If it gets real hot, canned food's not going to last you that long because it won't. It'll anything. If it's in the heat, it'll start. You got to keep it cool. Won't have a long shelf life. Do you have a means to make fire? Can you boil water? If you got freeze-dried foods, you got to have boiling water to reconstitute it. You want hot coffee, you got to boil water. You want hot tea, you need to boil water. You want cleanliness, you need to be able to boil your water. So having some sort of stove that runs on an alternate fuel source other than electricity or natural gas if the natural gas goes out. Having sterno, having camp heat. These you can light, put out, light, put out. This will burn for 6 hours. I got a bunch of these. I can boil water. I can boil water for a long time. I got a bunch of these. You want to go buy a 12-pack? $30 at Sam's for a 12-pack of these. Each one burns 6 hours. It takes about 15 minutes to boil water. About 15 minutes. And get heating your water, put it out, save it, let it cool off. KP Heathen, hello, my friend. Thank you for coming. So, having solar, having some solar panels up on your patio or your roof of your house, having a battery bank. It's at the point now where you can get lithium iron 100 amp hour batteries for under $200. A 100 amp hour battery, that's 1280 watts of stored power. And you can drain it all the way down and reload it, drain it all the way down and reload it. It'll, you'll get 10, 15 years off of it. Having a series of those wired with a maximum power point charger to bring in the power from the panels into your batteries. And then you either need to have a inverter if you're trying to run 110 volt. I wouldn't even bother with 110 volt because it eats so much power. I would go with the 12 volt. That's what I have. I have 12 volt appliances. I have two new 12 volt compressor driven refrigerator freezers, dual zoned. And so I can have ice, I can have cold water, cold milk, cold sodas, my cheese, my butter. I've got 12 volt, I should say number 10 cans, freeze dried, that I can mix up and keep them cold. That's number one. You're not going to have cell phones. Yeah, you can keep your phone charged, but the towers aren't going to be working. What I think would be the best thing to have right now, because his stuff is, up in the air and you just basically have to have a link to it, I think I would probably want to have that Starlink. You have one of his, if you can power it, you have one of his boxes. And you can have, and I don't know who you talk to, but like you can have that Starlink phone system where you can make long distance calls, local calls, or whatever using Starlink. You can be out in the boonies. If you got the power to power that box, you've got internet, and you can be using phone service. You're not worried about a tower that might not have power. Yes, you can certainly have walkie-talkies, and you can have UHF, VHF. You can have one of these setups where you can probably reach somebody halfway around the world with these shortwave radios, transmitters. There are people who do that for a hobby. They have a big antenna way up, 25 foot up in the air antenna, and they can catch across the United States. Um, the important thing is that you have to have water, source of water, clean water. You have to have food. You can't exist without water and food. If you take medication, you need a big supply of your medication. You need your medication. Like people who are on blood pressure medication, people who are on medication for diabetes. Certain, you got to have those medications. Um, Self-defense. You need a good pistol. You need a good rifle or shotgun. Self-defense. You got to think about all that stuff. And the first thing I would say, start storing up water. Start storing up canned goods if you can afford to buy some freeze dried. Start buying freeze dried. Buy beans and rice. Get you some Mylar bags, 5-gallon Mylar bags. Get you some food grade buckets with lids, some oxygen absorbers, moisture absorbers. Not that expensive. And start storing beans and rice. Try to keep them in a cool place, out of the sun. Start expanding what you have. And then you want refrigeration. Well, and you need a means to heat and boil water. You need a means to heat and boil water. Whether you're using propane, which how long will that last? How much do you have? Whether you're using sterno, how many cans do you have? Canned heat, how many cans do you have? You've got a wood burning stove. You have a supply of wood. Can you get to the wood? You know what to do. Important. All that's important. And then next thing I do is go for some solar. I get some solar panels. They're not that expensive. You can start small and build up. Get yourself a 12 volt, 100 amp hour battery, like a Power Queen or some such, for about $200. Have a charge controller plugged in with your battery and your panels. And then have some 12 volt appliances. You can get a 12 volt kettle to boil water. You can get a 12 volt cooker. You can get a 12 volt fan. Runs about 25 watts an hour. It's not gonna drain you down. Having a nice fan, running an Airstream, you don't know what that will do for you. Get yourself a 12 volt compressor driven refrigerator freezer. You're looking, depending on what you get, depending on how big it is, $300 maybe. That's your big expense. That, the panels, figure $100 for a 100-watt panel. Give or take a little bit. You can start slow. Get yourself a 100-watt panel. Get yourself a 100 amp hour battery. Have a regular charge MPPT or basically a PWM basic charge controller, $25, $30. For $400, you'll have a basic setup or less. And you can expand it. An old school wood stove, that's right. If the towers still work, and I have a ham radio, but nobody else I know has one, then it probably won't be any good to me. If all electricity is gone, there may not be any radio stations on the air. That's true. That is true. Solar arrays on your roof also attract visitors because they'll know you will have electricity. Inverter welders work good as battery chargers, cheap too. Well, for one thing, Butter Roll Boutique. Hello, Butter Roll Boutique. Thank you for coming. Two cans and a string. I hear you, Enrique. You can bet on nothing's going to happen. Don't do anything. When everything goes to hell, well, there you are. Um, if it's the second coming, you're good with the Lord. You have nothing to worry about. If it's not the second coming, well, you can do the minimum. You can do the minimum. There are storms. There are power outages. The deep freeze. The apocalypse when the solar's not working. The wind is not working because it's frozen. There are roving blackouts. You get these people. I had a paraprofessional. I won't mention his name. Down in Corpus, many years ago. He'd want to make a meal. He'd want a steak. He'd want to, he'd want to eat a good meal. He'd go buy all the ingredients to make one meal. And he'd prep that one meal. And he'd do that every so often. He can make a good steak. Yeah, he can make a good steak. We'd cook at school sometimes. I'd buy the stuff and he'd prep it. He'd fix it. Good cook. This was back when I had hair. And I wasn't wearing glasses. Way back in the day. And I didn't have this. So, and we still had storms back then. I lived in Corpus Christi, and every so often we'd have a storm, the power would be out for a few days. No power for a few days. And back then it didn't have solar. Back then it didn't have a generator. Think about it. Yeah, Noah packed 2 of everything. And Noah was a prepper. Ugh. Well, 16 likes, 11 in the house. What say y'all? Are y'all ready? Everybody can't show up at my house, and I mean, and I'm prepped for food and water. I've got a several month supply of medication. I've got a couple of, I've got solar panels on the patio roof. I've got a battery bank, 12-volt lithium iron batteries, Power Queens, in my kitchen, wired in. I can run 2 12-volt compressor-driven refrigerator freezers, Bouge RV. I would only run 1 at a time. And yeah, I would probably lose a lot of the stuff I'd lose my freezer, what all's in my freezer. And I've got 2 refrigerators, and one doesn't have a lot in it, and the other one does. I'd lose some stuff. But I'd be able to keep all the basics running. I would be able to keep drinks and milk. I've got lots of freeze-dried milk, beverages. I have plenty of coffee. Lots of food. A well, yes. Having a well, you want a manual pump for that well. A well pump normally is like 220, runs on 220. So you can get systems to run it, but you probably would want a manual pump so you can pump water out. You can have a manual pump installed on one even when you're using electricity. You can still have a manual pump as a backup. That would be something I would tell you to do, is to install a backup. Yeah, hospitals probably be closed. Well, they may be, they'll have temporary power for a week or two. But then the idea is, I was talking to a young lady one time. She was doing a live stream. We were communicating. I said, "What do you do in an emergency? You know, big emergency. Well, I go to the hospital. Okay, well, are you sick or are you hurt? They're not going to want you to go there if you're not sick or hurt. They're not there to just give you food. They're there for the sick and the hurt. Well, then I'd go to my parents. Okay, good idea. Are your father, your parents, do they prepare? Are they preppers? They believe in preparedness. Do they have extra food and extra water? And can they take care of you? Can they afford you to come? Can they afford for you to come in? Or if you got a sibling, or you're married or whatever, can't afford to have the family come together? Are they prepped like that so that in an emergency everybody comes to them? You know, you got to think about stuff like that. The other thing is, if you're in a group, what do you provide to the group? What do you bring to the group? If you're in a group, what are your skills? What are your supplies? What do you bring to a group? What do you have to offer them for them to have you there? Other than the fact that you're somebody's brother-in-law or whatever. You know. Think about that. Viking Jekka. Can you guys see this? Because I can't see nothing, hear nothing. You are a new channel, joined May 24th, 2024. 2,000 views. What's post? That's a cute one. Yeah, it may be a kid. How does a kid get in here when it's basically for adults and blocked? Yes, if the power goes out, you start cooking your refrigerator, freezer foods first. You can smoke meats with one of the smoker grills. Sweet and make people laugh. Well, that's a good thing to do. None of my friends prep. My parents have always kept enough food in their house for a month. My friends say they're all coming to my house. I tell them nah. Yep. Child care while the parents are working. Speaking of in-laws, have you made a prepper out of your new son-in-law yet? Nope. I don't think my daughter has a housebroken yet. She's trying to housebreak him. Get your resume together. That's what my parents do. They still shop like they have 3 kids. Well, I mean, in all honesty, 12 in the house, 16 likes. You know, speaking honestly, I spent very little time with my new son-in-law. I think my daughter tries to keep him hidden. They both have jobs. They both work. She's trying to finish her hours for her license. She's an LPC associate, licensed professional counselor. She's an associate. So she basically is under the supervision of a licensed professional counselor. And she's got to complete her 3,000 hours to get her own license. I'm still helping my daughter financially. I give her money every month. Even though she's making decent money now, I still give her money to help her. It's like my wife. I mean, I pay all the bills, everything comes out just pretty much automatically. The bills come out. And then I have all this, and then I save, I take care of what I need to take care of. I'm getting older. I will be 63 in less than 2 months. And if things fall apart, as long as there's some law enforcement, still around, trying to keep down on the looting and such, I think we'll be okay. But you get a situation where you get a roving band of looters, and they want to come through, and they want what you have. I'll thin the herd some, but they'll probably get me. And I don't have a group that I'm with. I've got friends, but they're all my age or older. And they wouldn't be a lot of use in a defensive situation. Point and shoot. Somebody breaks in the house, but you get a large group of them. They'll take a couple of them with them. But you send the foot soldiers in first, right? Think about that one. Well, that is true. But she is my girl. Okay. YouTube's blocking for AIDS. That's fine. Well, I will post some stuff this weekend. I'll post some images. Um, for those of you that I've sent stuff to in the past, and I'm still in the process of sending stuff out to people that support me. Dave, yours is coming up. I'm sorry. I'll try to get yours out this coming week. You need to have a means. You need a good stove, a little portable stove or a camp stove or whatever. You need some cookware. You know, I have several sets of this. Want to boil water, make coffee, or tea, or whatever. Having like a sterno or having an esp cooker where you're using tabs. Well, how many tabs do you have? You know, do you have plenty of tabs? You use about two. You probably use 2 tabs to boil water. You would probably use 2 tabs to boil water if you want to like make water for reconstitute a freeze dried meal and have some coffee to drink or some hot tea or whatever. You'll probably use 2 tabs. So when you start looking at, okay, well this is like $5, 24 tabs. That means you can boil water 12 times with this. 12 times. So rounding it, want to boil water, 50 cents. Or a little less than 50 cents to boil water. Want to boil 20 ounces of water, whatever, 50 cents. That way you can reconstitute a meal and have a cup of coffee. Think about it. And then, multiply it out. Do the math. What do you need? How much do you need? This is a better deal. One of these takes 15 minutes to boil water. 4 times 6, 24. You can make 24 times. Boil it, put it out. Boil it, put it out. Boil it, put it out. 24 from one of these. 12 pack, $30. 12 pack of this for $30. Think about that. This is the best deal. Go over to Sam, Canned Heat, a 12 pack, and you should have a little stove, a little folding stove. Doesn't take up a lot of space. Sterno. Buy the Sterno. $2.50 a can. Sterno. You can use it indoors. You can use it outdoors. I tell people, I give those out to people. I also do the little backup stove with the tabs. Yeah, I have a couple of Colemans myself. Uncle Al, that's good. Buying space. I sent you a small package today instead of sending one large package. I'm sending things here and there. Well, I hear you. Thank you so much. If you're referring to me, thank you so much. I'm not paying attention to the stream that much. I got gas, liquid fuel, and hexane and hexamine tabs. Good stuff. Good stuff. Mike Crusher Reviews. Hello, Mr. Crusher. Good stuff. Good stuff. $12 in the house, 15 likes. 16 likes. So back to what I was saying. What works for you? Get what works for you. Yeah, sorry. Life is good with cold beverage, and it's not alcohol. So the idea is, you want to have a means. You want clean water. It's number one. You want food. You want edible food. You can't go without water and food. If you take medication, you want a good supply of your medication. You need to have a means. You need to have a means to having some water purification tablets, some sort of filter system. Being able to cook, clean, having a toilet set up, having a portable shower. Those portable showers usually will require 3 to 5 gallons. You can get by with 3. And it's not hard. It's not expensive to set one up. And going to want to take a shower a couple times a week. Want to get cleaned up a couple times a week. If you can, if you got the water to do it. You know, how do you clean your clothes? Occasionally you got to wash something. You have a good med kit. Do you have any antibiotics stored? Do you have a means to store? Can you acquire it? There are ways to get antibiotics and medications and such. Do you need to refrigerate it? Do you need to keep it in a cool place? Don't want it out in the heat. You got to think about all that stuff, guys. You know. Jocelyn's Vogue of Taiwan. Hello, Jocelyn. Good morning, young lady. Thank you for coming. Haven't been paying attention. Skookum Ranch. A good watch, not a smart watch. $32. And I got 3 different wristbands for it. It does give me the month. $32. Have to recharge and won't be smart without your phone. I hear you there. Candles and lamps. That's right, candles and lamps. I've got some long burning lamps. Don't wander in the dark. I hear you there. I've got lithium powered lighting. My wife goes out there. She's using a headlamp. Got lanterns, gold zero lanterns. I got 3 of those gold zero lanterns. I've got some I got some of the Chinese stuff, and it works. Rechargeables. SD Mountain Man, my friend. How you doing, Scott? Please leave a like. Get a kick out of the warning. Yeah, I get warnings. Feel free to drop your link, Jocelyn. I'm a very bad subversive type. I shop at Walmart. I voted the wrong way in the election. I'm just a horrible person. Well, good for you. I'm glad you're done for the month and you're kicking back. That's good. Oh, hell no. Let's go, Brandon. No, I did not vote for him. Oh, Lord. I will tell you, I have no problem with the person's skin color. I have no problem with the person's sex. I won't vote for an idiot. It's like it was like, it's almost like a Walking Dead episode. They'd show him walking, and then he just walks off out to nowhere. He's looking around. They're all over there. Hey, we're over here. He's looking. Where are you? And the guy's back turned to him. I tried. Yeah. I don't know. The Democratic Party went to hell. Oh, I would say probably somewhere around the time of the end of the Vietnam War. And Jimmy Carter certainly, that just, if you look at who they were running, God almighty. But if you want people to vote, thank you, Jocelyn. If you want people to vote for you, if you're running for office, you want people to vote for you, you have to have some credibility, and you have to represent what they want you to represent. You know, you got a very small percent of the population that's basically wagging the tail or wagging the dog. Think you may be able to hear one of my dogs out barking outside my window over here. Yeah. Well, you're younger, I guess a little bit younger. I remember when he was running for re-election, and he came to Corpus Christi, and the school took a couple of bus loads of students out, and it was a fly through. He didn't really, he got out of Air Force One, and he did a speech at the airport, took some photos, shook some hands, and then took off. He didn't go into town. And I remember the school that I attended, Catholic school, prep school, went out there and I got to see him, you know, and right up close, you know, nice. But he did a lot of things to hurt us. He did a lot of things to hurt us. Good night, Uncle Al. Thank you for coming. So while I got y'all in here and some of y'all that just recently came in, let me say this one more time. Today's topic was 3 Days of Darkness in Modern Times, the failure of the power grid by AI. Grid goes down. It periodically happens. A lot of times because of the weather. It's too cold. The solar's not working. The places where they got the massive solar, the wind turbines are not working. They're frozen. And they have to do blackouts. Do you have backup power to run key stuff? Real bad in hot weather. Keeping things fresh and frozen. No tech support and services, no police, fire, or EMT services, no smartphone or internet. You basically go back 125 years in 3 days. Then what is left that is still working? Think about it. No Walmart, gas station, no takeout food. That's right, hand pump on a well. You can have you can have your electricity, but you can also put a hand pump on it. You really need that. That's money well spent. That way you got water. First thing you need is water. Then you need food. Beans and rice. 5-gallon buckets, Mylar bags, oxygen absorbers, moisture absorbers. Seal it. Food grade lid. Seal it up. Mark it. When did you do it? What's in it? Put it aside someplace cool. Keep it cool. Try to keep it cool. Like a root cellar. Yeah. Oh, you better believe half the folks will starve. They say 90% of the population will be gone in 6 months. 90% of the population. You'll have the Amish. You'll have the Mennonites. You'll have the Southern Baptists out in the country. The rest of you are SCREWED. Well, I mean, I hope not. But I hope not. I hope y'all are not. I hope y'all are not. But there will be a lot of people who will be. I strongly dislike AI. Our new dash cameras don't know jack. I've glared at it, flipped off, etc. over stupid stuff, and I cover it because I drive in yard take off after leaving. Yep. So I will plan on being back tomorrow for another edition of Coffee Talk. I'll start thinking about my next news. If you haven't watched my news, watch my news. It's 5 minutes. Check out my shorts. Check out the chicks. I've had 2 or 3 updates on my chickens, the chicks. Please like, share, subscribe, leave a comment. You want to be involved with my giveaway? Next giveaway, when I hit 1900, you better leave a like and a comment, supportive comment on each of the last 5 videos I will have released. If you want your name in the hat, I give away good stuff. It's been a long week. I'm tired. I appreciate y'all for being here. Everybody have a blessed day, and hopefully we'll see you tomorrow for another edition of Coffee Talk. Thank you. God bless. Bye-bye.